Hi, welcome to another video. My name is Deborah and this is the edit by DH. Today's video is all about Byredo. And one of the main reasons I wanted to do this is because I was first introduced to Byredo, I think as almost everyone does, through fragrance. And their fragrance is amazing. I will get onto that a bit later on. I didn't actually know that they did a makeup line until I went to the beauty hall in Harrods, which I absolutely adore. It's when I went to actually look for a fragrance, I discovered they had a makeup collection, and that's how I got introduced to the makeup part of it. As you can tell, my face is quite bare right now. I have base on, but judging by that, you'll probably know that my focus is going to be all about the eyes and lips today. Even with their makeup collection, although they have quite a few products, it tends to be around eyes and lips because they don't have any base products yet. So I mean foundation, concealer, bronzer, blushes, etc. However, it's probably yet to come. I'm sure it's in the works. As long as, you know, the current makeup collection is doing well, I don't see why a beauty collection wouldn't expand into a fuller collection to include face products as well. So I purchased a couple of things which I wanted to go through with you today. I'll do swatches, I'm going to try it on, and then at the end, as I always do, give you my full opinion on it. I'm sure most of you have heard about Byredo. It's a very popular but also expensive, luxurious fragrance. And they have multiple bestsellers actually. They have quite a few fragrances in their fragrance collection. However, the ones that I own and particularly love are Mojave Ghost and 𝕬𝕚𝕚𝕚. I hope I've said that right. In case you are completely new to Byredo, I looked more into it and want to give you like a little bit more information on the brand. So Byredo is a European luxury brand founded in Stockholm in 2006 by 𝕬𝕚𝕚𝕚, I hope I've said that right, with an ambition to translate memories and emotions into products and experiences. Byredo is reinventing the world of luxury through a new approach where creation is led by emotions, expressing a full and limitless brand universe. Byredo conceives objects using the highest quality materials available and high-end design details to fuel a renewed approach to modern luxury. Byredo creates and develops a range of products such as fragrances, makeup, home, leather goods and accessories, which I didn't know by the way about the goods and accessories, and is sold in more than 40 countries in very high-end exclusive network worldwide. We believe that through creativity, we're able to develop timeless products, both meaningful and inspirational to people and their lives. A little bit about 𝕬𝕚𝕚𝕚, the founder. He's a native Swede. He was born to an Indian mother and a Canadian father. He grew up in Toronto, New York and Stockholm, very international. And then it gives a little bit more information about, you know, how he got into the beauty industry, which you can read about, I'm sure, on their website, or Google and Wikipedia are always your best friends. So normally I would do my eyes first, then I would do lips last, normally. However, because I only got one shade of lipstick, or in this case a tinted lip balm, I thought it would make more sense to apply the balm first and then do my eyes, just because I only have one choice of lips. So I felt like it'd be easier to match what I do with my eyes with my lips, if that makes sense. Because if I do my eyes first normally, and then I would choose a lip color to complement my eye color scheme. But today I'll do it the other way around. So I'm first going to go in with a tinted lip balm, which is in the shade Argila. I think it's Argila. Argila? Who knows? But Argila. I'll call it for now. So tinted lip balm in this particular collection has 3 shades, and this is a slightly brownier shade. I will show you in just a moment. It comes in this like standard white and black packaging, where the packaging itself is white, the writing is in black. Byredo packaging is quite simple, but at the same time it still looks very elevated. And then you push it out to open almost like a little secret compartment, and then it comes in a little pouch like this, and then you just take out the tinted lip balm. Now when I see the packaging, it very much reminds me of Hermes, because Hermes is very similar in that you pull it out of a secret compartment and then it has a little pouch. In honesty, I would say the 𝕤𝕚𝕦𝕓 one feels a little bit more luxurious, but at the same time, 𝕤𝕚𝕦𝕓 is slightly more on the higher end price-wise than Byredo, if that makes sense. They're both luxurious, but I would say 𝕤𝕚𝕦𝕓 is slightly more expensive. So on that note, this lip balm is £40, but the 𝕤𝕚𝕦𝕓 one I believe is like £52 or £56. So it's a little bit of a difference. And if you see, it is in this sort of like gunmetal grey, and it's very, very weighty, which always feels so satisfying to me. And it's in this sort of like curved shape. And then when you pull it out, that's where the lip balm, you can just twist it up. Now, I've already swatched this, and because my light tends to change quite a lot, unfortunately, it comes hand in hand with living in the UK. The weather can't make up its mind. We are 4 seasons in one day. So I will pop the swatch of the lip balm before I used it, just to show you what it looked like, and also an accurate daytime non-filtered swatch. So like I said, I'm going to apply the lip balm first. I already have a clear lip balm on, so I'll just take off some of the residue. What I really like about this is you'll see it better in just a second once the sun settles. Even though it's got sort of like, there you go, the light's better, the brownish undertone to it, it's not like aging. I don't know how to describe it. Brownie tones are kind of associated with the 90s, and lots of people love that kind of tone, and I love it on other people but not necessarily on myself. I feel like it can look aging. However, with this one, I still feel like it feels fresh even with a brown undertone to it, and it's like kind of perfect nude where it's just enough color so that you don't look like a dead corpse, but it's not so much color that you feel like you're trying too hard. It's just that perfect, effortless lip balm color, if you know what I mean. So looking at more information on the website, it says it's a lip balm with a subtle tint of color, meaning that there are obviously lip balms that have no color. And I think there are the lip balms that they have that are colorless are scented, but it's like nice scents, not like the scent that you get from like a drugstore brand and it reminds you of like your 13-year-old teenage self. It's sophisticated grown-up scents, but this one is scentless, and it says available in 3 fresh flushed universally flattering shades. A single gliding coat offers long-lasting nourishment and a semi-matte veil of color, which is interesting because most lip balms aren't matte or semi-matte, that can be laid for a more intensely pigmented finish. Still the same ultra moisturizing, 100% natural, vegan formulation, the tinted lip balm is housed within a distinct curvilinear anthracite metal case, sorry, me and my common gunmetal description, and sealed with a satisfying magnetic click. It does. There are 3 shades. Rosa, which I didn't get, is a blush of pink. Ochre, which I didn't get, an earthen rouge, love the descriptions, and then argila or argila, which is what I've got, fresh flushed neutral, which I would say is the perfect description for it. So it feels hydrating and enough slip to not feel like it's enough slip on your lips to feel like it's doing something and it's hydrated and it's moisturized, but not so much slip like some lip balms and some glosses have so much slip you just feel like it's just going to get on your teeth and it's going to go outside of your lip lines. This doesn't have that. It's got a very good balance. So far, very impressed. So that's the lip balm. Next, I think I'm going to go in with the eyeshadow palette. So obviously they do have a few eyeshadow palettes. There are 8 on their website, but this is just one of them, and it's called Corporate Colors. This palette is £58, which I'll show you in just a moment. Same thing, open it up and it reveals a secret compartment. And then again, like the lip balm, it has a miniature drawstring bag, which I love these, by the way. I keep them when I need to go on holiday. This is a bit awkward because I feel like I don't really tend to use the lipstick or lip balm little bags. Even the 𝕤𝕚𝕓, I'm like, it's great, it looks wonderful and they're perfect for gifts, but I'm not really sure what to use it for. But I love these sort of sizes because I feel like they're more practical. So if you've got a great use for this little bag, I would love to know what you use it for, because I do like to reuse them. And then all the eyeshadow palettes come in this packaging, which is so can I say freaking? So freaking gorgeous. It just feels and looks super luxurious. It's got a black back and then a gold, and it really reminds me of an oyster shell, a real like gold oyster shell. And it's just so luxurious. You could easily have it on your mantelpiece, and you could be proud to like even carry in your handbag. Imagine being on the train and taking it out and like, look at my little fancy eyeshadow palette. So this is the one in the color Corporate Colors, and these are the 5 shades. So each of the palettes have 5 shades, and there are 8 palettes in total. So you can see I've done little swatches, which again I will show you on the screen because it's the most accurate way I can show you. And a little bit of description. So it says, neutral, shimmering and matte shades, lightweight and long-lasting with easy to blend textures. The compact encourages the wearer to apply with the fingertips. Intense, pure and radiant, the colours are housed in a distinctive metal raindrop compact. Oh, it's a metal raindrop. Interesting. Maybe it's the ripple effect you get when like a raindrop falls into a puddle. Not sure. Maybe I'm being overly poetic. Here there is a notion of the glamorous cosmetic case of the past, now made for the future. So it's lightweight, long-lasting, easy to blend and intense pigment. What I loved about this palette versus others, because obviously the other ones are more fun, etc., but I always tend to gravitate towards like the safer colours, but with a difference. And for me, the difference are these 2 shades. So these are safe colours in my mind, because you can always do a smoky eye, spotlight, neutralizing, etc. But then this adds a little bit of something else, you know, like more dimension, a fun pop of color should you want it. So that's what drew me to this palette. I do have plans for tonight, so I don't mind going a little bit more smokier. Since this is the only color that's matte in this palette, I think I'm going to use this as my main base color, if that makes sense. Then I might go in with a little bit of this to smoke it up, and then use this color here as a spotlight. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't look like a car crash. So it says to use fingertips, which is very interesting. I know that fingertips are generally better for shimmering and glittery, but matte, I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to use a matte brush for the matte shade, and then I'll decide what to do with the shimmery ones. I'm going in with an old Bobbi Brown touch-up brush. I think it's supposed to be for concealer, but I personally really like it as a eyeshadow brush. So I'm going to use this for my matte colour. By the way, it's great because on the back, it tells you all the individual names of the colours, which not every eyeshadow or brand does. So the middle matte colour is called Pushpin. I like their names, it's fun. Then I love using my MAC, oh, it's very old, this one, 217 brush just to blend out and soften the edges. The colour is quite like earthy because there is a brownish undertone to it, like a brick tone to it, but there is also like a red tone to it, like you would get with earth. Any earthy tones is like brownie, reddish, terracotta, brick, those sort of tones. It's got all of those elements in it, so it's a very interesting colour, but it still remains sophisticated and not childish. So I've taken it a little bit higher than I normally would, just because I do want to go for more of a smoky evening look. So hopefully you can see that colour. I'd describe it as like a subtle wash, but it's definitely very pigmented. Like I could go way more pow with this colour if I wanted to. So their description on the website of being an intense pigment is probably accurate. Then I'm going to go in with this deeper brown shade, which is shimmery, and it's called Stylo. So I'm going to go in with a brush, and I think I'm just going to do the corner of my eye. Now, because I want to add a teeny bit more colour, I'm going to try my finger and just go in directly. I do feel like more pigment adheres when you use your finger, which is probably why they recommended using the finger rather than a brush. But it's not to say that using a brush you can't build it up. It does certainly work. If you want to be quicker, I think just use your finger. So I've just done a subtle wash of colour, as you can see. Then I want to go in with this neutral kind of spotlight colour called Eraser. And I'm going to definitely use my finger for this as a spotlight on the center of my eyelid, and just pat it gently with my finger so it marries the two colors together, both that rusty earthy tone with that deeper brown shimmery shade. That's really, really pretty. And in fact, I might put a bit of it in the inner corners of my eye just to give a pop. You guys know I love a little bit of pop. And it's such a beautiful color, actually, this eraser. I'm so sorry about the light, by the way, guys. I feel like I'm saying that a lot these days, but what can I say? I live in the UK and the weather is so unpredictable, and I feel like it's very English to talk about the weather, but there you go. So I've just applied the reddish hue as my base, the brown color on the outer edges just to give it better depth, and then the shimmery eraser color in the center of my eyelid just as a spotlight to give it a bit of something something, especially because I'm going out tonight, and I feel like with the artificial lights, when it sort of shines on your eye, you get a little bit more like ooh and ah and drama with the light and the shimmeriness. And then obviously pop the same color in the inner corners of my eye just to open it up and brighten it a bit. So I love the colors. And you know what, it's only one palette and it's only got 5 colors. I say only, but you can easily wear them as individual shades. Plus, I've done one eye look with it, but you've got this color and this color that could easily work as a separate eye color. You could mix it up and match it up, and actually all of them I feel like would beautifully complement each other. Some palettes you do feel like, yeah, great, individually they look great, but you're like, how on earth did this person decide to put these colors together? Because there is no way they're going to complement one another. But I think that's the beauty of making a successful eyeshadow palette, is creating colors that will work as individuals but also as a team. So I think they've done really well with this one. I can't speak for the other palettes obviously, but for this corporate colors palette, I think you would agree it works really well together, and it's so stunning, right? I keep getting mesmerized by this gold on the design. To finish off the eye look, I want to just go in with the next product, which is the eyeliner. Now this is a liquid eyeliner and it's got 2 shades, one which is black and this is practical brown, but it's got a slight like shimmer and glitter to it. Again, I'm including a swatch of the product on the screen so you can see it. And this eyeliner is £32. Now I want to quickly show you. Same thing, you pull it out, secret compartment, and you have the eyeliner. Now I'm sure, as you can see, as the most obvious difference is the packaging. I mean, unless I'm mistaken, it looks and feels like plastic. And don't get me wrong, this shade of the packaging is so gorgeous. Like, I love this sort of neutral color. I'm so drawn to it in a lot of things in my life. But I'm sure you can agree with the metal lip balm, which is very weighty, it's very stylish. The same with the golden eyeshadow palette. The liquid liner just seems a bit like meh. It's almost like they rushed to get this one out and they spent time developing the other two design wise, if that makes sense. And I kind of wish they had continued down the luxurious theme for design, because this eyeliner at £32 isn't cheap. So I don't understand why they brought out this packaging. So it just feels really out of place. It feels like they designed the eyeliner and they're like, look, we need to quickly get it ready for a meeting at head office. Let's just quickly put a packaging together for now. We'll finish off the design later. We just want them to swatch the liner first. Instead of going back to the design room and then finishing that design, they've just released it. So yeah, a bit confused about this packaging. It says, with excellent payoff, a single stroke of eyeliner is enough to enhance eyes. Now available in a softly shimmering brown, which is this one, for a more subtle impact. The Transfer Smudge Flake and Fade Proof formula promises 12-hour wear with a flexible, high-precision tip for easy application. It's a vegan formula and 99.2% natural. Practical Brown is a scintillating, luminous mid-brown to gently intensify the eyes. And then it says, a tip to amplify the color's natural iridescence, wait until the product is dry and lightly rub with your finger to reveal the shimmer. So yeah, it's not waterproof, but it's transfer proof and it's long lasting. This one, instead of most, you know, liners, you pop it open like this, you just twist it open, and it's got a very thin brush. So you've seen the swatch of the colour. And now just to complete this eye look. Now, by the way, this eye look alone looks completed, right? But you guys, if you know my videos, you know me, you've been watching me for a while, you know I'm obsessed with eyeliner. It's my signature look, especially the feline cat eye. I love, 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 love that. So therefore, an eyeliner will always be my desert island item. So I'm just going to quickly complete this look by lining my eyes. The thin brush is really handy because you can keep very close to your lash line. Before I complete the other eye, I'm just going to go into my other eye and just do the same. So that's how it looks if you don't want any kind of dramatic cat eye, but obviously I do. By the way, if you haven't noticed already, I'm not dipping in just yet back into the pot. I just want to see how long one dip lasts. Now I'm sure you guys will be impressed that like literally managed to do this eyeliner with just one dip of the pot, the original dip. So I didn't even need to dip back into it to complete the look. If I now wanted to touch it up and go in with more, I would have to dip it in again. But it's actually really impressive how long that lasted. So that's the complete eye look with the liner as well. Very easy to wear, would suit so many different skin tones and eye colors. I feel like it's worth the money, and now I'm kind of curious to see what other color schemes there are in the Byredo eyeshadow palette family. I know a makeup product is good, or whether I like it is it depends on where I put my makeup after I finish filming. If I am not so keen on it, and I know I'm not realistically going to use it either because of the quality or either because of the fact that even if the quality is great, I don't think I'm ideally going to realistically wear it, I'll put it in a pile which is to give to friends when I see them who are makeup artists and can use it in their kit, or friends who just love makeup, or the pile where I then put it away into my organized space where I keep all my makeup that I use on a day-to-day basis. That's how I can differentiate whether I like it or not. And for sure, all three items, the lip balm, the eyeshadow and the liner, are going to go into my drawer. So I will definitely use it and continue to use it in the future for myself. I think everything but the liner, even though it's really, really good, lived up to that kind of high-end hype and high-end quality feeling. The liner I'm just not so sure about, but I would love to know your thoughts on like the aesthetic, not only in terms of this, but the lip balm and the eyeshadow that I just showed you. If you did and were interested in anything that I've shown you today and you're going to purchase it anyway, I'd be really grateful if you could do it with the affiliation links that are going to be linked down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy the final look, and I really, really am sorry about the light. It's just England and weather, it just goes hand in hand. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Take care.